Hello, welcome back to Tea Talks with me, your host, Teaonalamb. Today we have a very, very, very special guest, Adderworks! Wrong way, Adderworks!
Hello.
Adderworks is like an uncle to me. I have bestowed that title to him only recently, but but he is like an uncle to me. He has known me since I was 16, which still, just like in the Mel episode, sounds weird as fuck without any context.
A little bit.
But just like Melt, I met him through Melt, and I brought up Adderworks' name in a few of the previous episodes. And Adderworks is an avid listener of the podcast, which is really nice. So, you know, little Easter egg for you to try to find Adderworks' name somewhere in the episodes, because I bring him up a decent amount because, you know, great supporter, a day one of my stream. We don't talk much, but at the end of the day, it's always like, Adderworks gonna be there. Adderworks is gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm around.
Yeah, he's somewhere in oblivion, but then like as soon as you're just like, hello, he's there somehow magically. I don't know. I don't understand it, but hey, that's on him. You know, like he's chilling out there. So for today's episode, I wanted to kind of go over like IT or informational technology. That's what it stands for, right?
Yeah, informational technology. Yeah. Informational technology.
Reason being why we're gonna be talking about the weirdest fucking topic out of like all the other shit that I've done episodes on so far is because he and I, Adderworks and I, have worked in IT or are in IT, etc., etc. So I wanted us to kind of bond over that because Adderworks is like really big brain, and it's kind of annoying, but it's kind of cool. Like, I'd be talking about the randomest topics in stream, and Adderworks would just be chatting away, like, knowing, like, he's like a fucking encyclopedia somehow about, like, every little fucking thing. It's like, oh, actually, did you know this? Like, what the fuck? No, I didn't, but why do you know this shit, man? What the fuck is this?
Nope.
George.
Okay, bye.
I texted him, we're recording a podcast. This asshole. Anyways, so we both worked in IT, and I kind of just wanted us to go over different stories of, so like it'll kind of tie into like my previous work stories episode that I did, but instead of it being coworker based, it's going to be customer based because I mainly worked customer service IT. But of course we'll go into that. So let's start off with your history, Adderworks.
Okay. Hazmat. I did a lot of hazmat in the early 2000s. After Katrina, I got out of hazmat. Post 9/11, post Katrina stuff, and I shifted over into informational technologies because I had been getting my degree for that and studying for that. And at the time, my company was doing some shady shit as well at the time. So I was like,
rest in peace.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm done with that. So
Mm-hmm.
we went into IT. I did. I was like, okay, so my family, I was like family tech for at the time. So I kind of shifted that over into database technology, informational like management, which is basically, so at the time, it wasn't necessarily a database. It was because we didn't have .NET at the time, which is you got to understand, like, so this is like manually shifting data. Yeah, right. so instead of like, it's almost like, you know, physically picking up like transfer and stuff.
Yeah,
it was just a huge mess. So we would get these weird calls, and it was always like, we need you to do this, but normally what we would take for granted as automated now, somebody had to manually shift it over, save it, convert it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I started into it. And I got my certifications and things like that, and Cisco type.
So like,
A+.
So like when you say you work IT, like you be working IT, like you be doing the do, like damn.
Yeah.
When I say I work IT, I just mean I worked in IT and like did some stuff in IT and like have basic customer IT. That's it. I don't know anything else. Like if you were to ask me to like, you know, do database work, do networking work, do all this shit, like I didn't go to school for this. I just got a job. That's it. Like they just needed people. Like that's all I do.
It's all good. Like it doesn't matter. Even no matter what your certificate is, after a year or two, you're pretty much outdated anyway. So
even if really? So. Bro, my dad won't shut the fuck up about how like, Teona, you should go get an IT certificate so you can like get a job like once you're like ready to move out of like your current job. I'm like, Dad, I plan on staying here for like 2 years, and you saying that if I were to get my certificate now, it's just gonna be outdated by 2 years anyways. When I'm planning on moving away from being an operator, then I would have to do it again anyway. So thank you. I don't gotta waste my time right now because my dad is like drilling it into my brain and it's trying to brainwash me like a little bit. Like,
well, he's not wrong if like in the sense that if you get in with an older company, there's this idea of like it's like a rolling certification. Like you get in, you get your certificate, they pay for recertification. You get hours, you get monies to recertify, and as you go forward, it's kind of like a ongoing job application. So that's like the older companies, and if it's like a new generation Z company,
I can't help you with that. I may be Gen Z, but like I don't know.
Yeah, like the older companies is like a rolling forward type thing.
Oh, okay. Well, for my experience in IT is I worked as a student assistant at my university. And so I was just doing customer support. Just basic ass, the bitches that you yell at, the Indians on the phone. That's basically who I was. So I first started off working as like operator / help desk. So we picked up all operator calls. So the basic operator calls you would assume, hey, I'm trying to reach this professor. Hey, I'm trying to reach this department. Can you transfer me? Transfer them. Basic, simple calls. That's the first time I ever did like phone service. So they just threw me into the fire. They didn't give a fuck, bro. They literally just like were like, read this real quick and we're gonna put you on phones. And I was like, I haven't done this before. And then I also did help desk, which was all based on the university's like school accounts. If you like bitches fucking lock their accounts out, or like they're confused as to why their account is locked out, but it's because they haven't reset their password because it's already the yearly password reset time. Just shit like that. Just like a lot of just like, how many times did you fail your password? 5 times? Yes, your account is locked out. Like, let me unlock. Yeah. Can you confirm your information for me, please? Or it was we also had access to the Microsoft 365 accounts to like give them access and things like that. So it was just a lot of like basic, like I don't know, like that's like front end, right? That's just like front end IT help desk shit, right?
Yeah, front end.
Okay, yeah. I was just like entirely front end. And then I got booted from that job and then I worked still in IT because I already knew I already knew how to use iSupport. iSupport is a ticketing system that we use there. So I already learned how to use iSupport, and moving into a different sub-department in IT where they also use iSupport, like, but bam, I'm already one-upping all these other fucking applicants. Like, hello? Give me this job. If I didn't get the job, I would have been so fucking pissed off. Like, I am overqualified for this fucking job. I deserve this job, please.
Right.
But that is also technically also front end because it was still just frontline customer service and we're doing equipment rentals. So technically we were still under IT, but we weren't really doing much IT stuff other than the staff members being AV people. They did a lot of AV for the entirety of the school, and we helped very little with the AV in the school. Like we would go and troubleshoot it of like, why is it not turning on? What color is the light on the projector? Do they have it on the right fucking source? Oh my god. Like
Yep. Like,
did they turn it on?
Yep. Is it on? Yep.
Oh my god. So I was basically doing like minor AV and a lot of just like front end customer service and rentals for electronic equipment, and that's like basically the majority of what I've done in IT. And what sucks is that I did not go to school for IT. I just applied to fucking random ass jobs because I just wanted a job in college. But then after working IT for basically 3 years, I realized I wanted to continue working in IT. And I have a degree in advertising.
They go together-ish. It's just modern technology. It's modern technology. I mean, it does kind of.
So I fucking realized in like late junior year that I wanted to move to MIS. Okay. But if I were to move to MIS with fucking 3 years under my belt in mass communications and journalism in the College of Mass Communication and Journalism, I would have to stay for another 3 to 4 years to make sure that I have because their GEs might be different. I might have to take more fucking math classes. I might have to take calculus. I fucking barely passed stats, bro. Like, I can't do that shit.
The certificates might be your thing, honestly. If you're just looking
why,
I mean, the certificates are significantly easier than calculus.
Thank God. Because I failed Algebra 2 twice in high school, and I barely passed stats. So, like, I'm not... Adderworks, you have seen me try to do math on stream. I cannot do math. I may be Asian, but that gene ain't in my body, bro. Like,
that's rough. Yeah.
when whoever made me, they just like dropped it on the floor and were like, ah shit, it's been past 5 seconds.
5 second rule. Okay.
So then it's just gone. I can't do math. I can do like, 1 + 1. I could do like very, very, very minor addition. But like I gotta count on my fingers still at the age of 22, almost 23. Like I gotta count on my fingers. I have to use a calculator. I just can't. But yeah, so I'm definitely probably gonna look at the certificates like a little bit later on. But I just started at this job, which is why I'm like, Dad, chill the fuck out. Like I'm not about to move immediately. I've been working for 2 months. Like
well, see, the certificates thing, this does lead into the IT support. When they want to build like a team, like there's this thing called we got to build our team building, and they want to invest in their own people. What part of that is saying, okay, we're going to get you involved in our certificate programs, so that they're looking at you 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, in case. And, so the tech people like us, well, these horror stars, like this is you 2 years from now if you get recertified. And it's kind of like a carrot reward stick, that kind of thing. And
I'm a pig in Minecraft.
You are, and it's crazy, right? And it's like there's somebody on my back. This sucks. It's like he's gonna ride me off this cliff, isn't he? Yeah, right. And it's like, yeah, and you know this, it's happening at some point.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I do want to continue doing IT. But I applied to IT jobs, I applied to advertising jobs, I applied to just basic front desk receptionist job because I know that like customer service should get me a job there. After I got a job at my last job, which was a receptionist job, a fucking company called me back and it was an IT job and I was like, I just got a job. I'm not gonna leave it, I'm sorry. Like, I love IT. And he's like, well, okay, like, if you ever are like looking for a job again, just like reapply, like we'll like definitely like like look into it again and like try to give you an interview. And I was like, thank you so much. And then I got a job here as an operator. So it's like
that's good.
So I didn't go into the IT job. But the thing is, I kind of wanted to go into it, but it was working on Macs, and I feel like that's a lot harder than working on Windows. And also, I've used Mac, I've used Apple products before, but like I am not as well versed as I would be on Windows because obviously Windows is supreme. Windows is superior.
Yeah, but you're also an Adobe person, so Adobe is Mac. All the menus, all the subsystems, it's all based on the Mac structure.
Really?
So it's like, yeah. So when you're looking at the Adobe, that is essentially it's not Windows, like it's a Windows frame, but all the structure, all the file structure, the access, it's that origination of Mac. So.
Well, I mean, like, I know Mac enough, but like, obviously, when I get the job, they're gonna train me. Like, obviously, like, you know, but still, it's like, what if they make me use Mac at home?
You know Adobe. I just like Mac. I'm not gonna lie. Technologically, for me, Mac has always been behind, and it kind of makes me a PC snob. But
wow,
it's like, it's like it's like great. It's a Mac. Isn't that cute? It's like
it is a very aesthetic looking OS. I would agree. It is a very aesthetic looking OS. But I don't know. It's like people don't make games for Mac, okay? I gotta stay PC.
They do not.
I gotta emulate, bro. Oh my fucking god, yes. Literally, when I got a fucking iMac, I was like, ooh, I can't wait to play Path of Exile because I love Path of Exile. I fucking get the iMac, put it on my computer, set the shit up, go to Steam. Huh? Fuck you mean I can't install? It's not for Mac. I literally wanted to kill myself.
Yes. Linux too. Linux has the same problem. Yeah. Like the tech geeks and the IT folks. Like there are a few games that do run on Linux, the emulators, but not as many as I would like. So
yeah,
it's almost like a novelty toy. So
I never tried Linux before. I never tried Linux, but I have seen Linux because somebody, when they checked out one of our laptops at my old job, they broke the TOS and they fucking redid the interns and fucking made it Linux. Surprise. And we got it back and we're like, these don't look like Windows. This looks different. The fuck is this? And then we banned them, obviously. Yeah. And then we sent it over to our computer person, like, you gotta fucking hard reset this shit, bro. Like, good luck. That's not our... We just check them out, bro. Like, that's your job.
Yeah, the tech person's like, ugh, really? Thanks, great.
Yeah, like, bitches that, like, change it to Windows 11, like, they're not allowed to update it to Windows 11. Bitches that change it to Linux, or, like, desktop support... Sorry, we have 10 laptops for you to fix. Like, these bitches are stupid.
Oh,
like,
no, yeah. I can imagine that.
Yeah, and then they fucking take, like, 5 months to give it back to us. Like, bro, please. We need to check the back out. Like, what the fuck is this? But, you know, speaking of just problems with the customers, so let's get into some pet peeves that we have. Because Adderworks has worked customer service for IT before. As from my experience, I've only worked front end customer service and IT.
Yeah.
So I've dealt with a lot of people, and I'd say that it's kind of worse. I wouldn't say that my experience is worse, but I'd say because I worked at a school, and I'm dealing with not only Gen Zers that don't like, and like a lot of computer science majors that think that they're on top of the world and can like, I'm a hacker into our fucking computers and shit. But I'm also working with old ass motherfucking like prehistoric teachers that don't understand technology. So
yeah,
I had the best of both worlds working at these jobs, man. So let's go into some pet peeves that you have when we were working customer service and stuff.
Okay. I think maybe my first and one that has persisted throughout the years. It's when somebody sends you an email, right? And they CC everybody, right? And so they send out this wide complaint about how everything's broken, and it's like they want to involve the whole company, from whether it's a CEO to, it doesn't matter. The CEO, they're family members. Like they want the family members to peer pressure you into fixing their shit. And you're like, is this a group conversation? Like
I didn't realize we were in a group chat.
It's like, yeah, and you're like, what? Because I mean, you have to be polite. It's professional.
Exactly. It's like, what the fuck? Excuse me.
And so, yeah, it's like when you go to isolate who is who.
Oh.
Yes, and that's the problem, because like if you just disappear, like some people, like whether it's a technological officer or the IT folks, they want to see this. They say, well, how did that one case come out? So you got to kind of remember, and like, these people who set off this like red flare, like rescue flare, right? and then they just vanish off the map. So all these people from everywhere sees this little red rescue flare, and suddenly they're gone. Because like, are you supposed to walk the boss through this guy's problem?
Yeah.
I mean that's just a violation of information privacy at the very least, right?
True.
And,
True, because like you have to ask them verification questions to ensure that like this is actually your stuff that you're trying to get fixed. Or like even if it's like your account and it's like you trying to reset something or like you're locked out of your like entire like docking station or something, like we have to find out like what's your password, what is your email, what is all this verification from, like and now you're like fucking your fucking neighbor fucking knows how to get into your computer or some shit.
You're performing for this huge audience and you're like, I can't function like this because company policy says you can't function like this. And people are, and so that's my biggest pet peeve, going through from a young person in IT going all the way forward to wherever that now.
Any other pet peeves? That's your biggest?
The being okay, when somebody repeats their email chain, like when they, when you get an email chain and you hit reply, right? And you hit reply and you got this email chain. And somebody doesn't know any better. Like, let's say they're a professor and they're an English professor. They got nothing on technology. They're still looking for the paperclip, like the old Windows paperclip, right? That was the last time they were technical. Yeah, exactly. That's the paperclip. And so these people who these really big brains, lots of power. They send you these copy and paste. They copy and paste everything. So it's like and then you're looking at a screen and it's like a desktop that just mirrors continually the infinity thing. Yeah, so you get an email that's like 100 kilobyte chain, and
you're
suddenly
like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, that's my other pet peeve. It's like, I guess it's out of date, technologically inept people who shouldn't be. Yeah, you can't really chide the professor. You can't chide somebody who should know better. You can't say you're an idiot, even if it's polite.
Which fucking sucks. I want to tell you, bro. You went through you lived through wars and you can't do this shit.
Yeah.
You experienced the Great Depression. You learned how to cut one slice of bread into two.
And you can't even do this. And that'd be my second peeve. If I had to pick one more third one right after that, it's people who want to get like weirdly personal in your tech support emails. Like they want to have dialogues like social, and they email you like weird personal questions. Like it's like some sort of like I don't need to know. You don't need to even know your name. Right, like my name is Bob. It doesn't really matter. And they want to get personal, but there's the older generation, and to them this is like important that they know who they're talking to.
Yeah.
And so it's like talking to your grandmother, because it probably is your grandmother. And you're like, see, even if you're rude, you don't want to be perceived rude, because if once they get mad or frustrated, they're done, right? And so then they're just going to call a manager or an officer, and it's going to come back to you anyways. So
because like, why didn't you help them? It's like, I was trying though. They just didn't listen.
and then it all comes down to the ultimate craziness, like, because with IT, everything has to be on.
No shit.
And this is my biggest pet peeve, I guess, of all time, is turn it on.
Yes. And it's so funny though, because it's become such a meme too. It's like people that work IT, I turn it on. Like, obviously it's gonna be the number one question that we ask, because there are a lot of people that genuinely it's just not on. Like, why is my TV not working? Did you press the on button? Is it plugged in? Is it charged? Is there power in your house?
Yeah, that would have to be my greatest of all times, I guess. Like the big, the big hit. Big hit in IT is, that's my pet peeve. Did you turn it on? Okay. And it still applies. All these years
and years and years. It's always gonna be the same. Just like, did you turn it on? Is it plugged in? Like, it's always gonna be the same thing. For me, working in my jobs, it's funny because a lot of the things from you are email based. So I'll bring up an email based one. It's not my number one top pet peeve, but it is quite annoying. Because, tickets are tickets. And after working in IT, I now write my tickets very well. Because every email that you send into IT is always going to turn into a ticket. All right. So guys, to the bitches that are listening, please take my advice right now. when somebody sends in an email and it just says, my laptop is not working, period, send, we don't know what the fuck is going on. We cannot help you. There are so many reasons why it would not be working. Like, please give us as much information that you know about this. And try troubleshooting before sending to us. It's the same thing that you learn in school. Like, if you need help, ask your peers before asking the teacher. We are the teacher in this example. Ask your friends, ask people around you, look up on fucking Google, watch YouTube videos. Why this no work? If you try and you send us an email, say, okay, I tried this and I tried that. I tried this, I tried that. None of it's working. It's still not working. You know, like, and like any other information, if it's like an account, like if it's an account thingy, like give us your email, give us, I don't know, other fucking information that like we would need for verification, but you don't have to because we're going to ask you anyways. But still, like, if it's like a hardware issue, a software issue, like what did you do to try to fix? And like, what did you do before it broke? Like we need to know all these things. If you just send us a help, please, SOS, like we can't help you, bro. So that was like the most annoying things of just like my first original job in IT of like my account's locked out. Like, okay, are you sure your account is locked out? Or like, you know, how many times did you try or this and that? Or like, did you try resetting your password already? Like, there's so many fucking questions that we have to ask because you just say, please help. So that is a pet peeve of mine, like email-based wise, ticket-wise, of just like tickets just being so sparse. Like ever since I started working in IT, now whenever I send out ticket like messages, I'm like, all the information possible. I'm like, I already tried this, I already tried that. Here, like, I don't remember what email it is. Here are 3 of my emails that could possibly be on there. Like the last time I used this was this, and well, I give so much information that like sometimes that they don't even need. Just to make sure that they know like everything that is going on, so they don't have to ask me a question that I could have already pre-answered. Because bro, guys, please, like working in IT, like you meet some dumbass people.
Yeah. And to be honest, there's also me at some say. There's a point though, like when somebody says, "I don't know what's happening, help me," in database terms, right? And if you get the database guy involved, what happens is this. He pulls up your account information, which is your name, your user ID in the database. He knows everything you've done, where you browse, what you've downloaded, your traffic, like, and this is specifically for university kids and everything else like that. All the young kids listening, they know everything you've looked at on the internet.
If you're connected to their Wi-Fi, they are able to track you. Yes.
Yep. And when you say, help me, it's broken, you got to fix this. If you don't give them the first people you talk to specific information to reset your password or whatever it is,
my job is for,
right? If you don't help that person and you get like, well, I'm going to screw you, I'm going to get the database guy, he's going to fix this. It's going to be like invasive surgery because he's going to know your browsing history.
He's gonna see all the porn that you're fucking watching, that like extra huge vor tentacle porn that you're looking at, bro. Like,
and it's gonna be all there in the database. And database guy doesn't care. He's just laughing his ass off because he's just gonna say,
he's in the
exactly, right? and so the kids don't know that, right? They don't know that all of their life is in that little box. And he starts, and so he goes into the pet peeves, like, definitely work with the first people you talk to because it is far less intrusive than talking to the database guy because database guy knows everything about you. And as funny as that is for us, you probably would feel violated if you actually knew what was involved.
Like for verification, before we would ask for the last 4 digits of their social. That is as invasive as we will go. We're gonna ask for your first, last name, and last 4. If it matches, no more questions, just cool, it's reset, enjoy. Yeah. If you want to have your fucking weird fetishes be looked at, like just tell us the last 4 of your social, bro. Like we're not gonna steal your identity. Like oh my god, the amount of power that I had. Oh my god, I could look at people's fucking transcripts. I just had access to that. I can literally look at like the last. I did not have access to the full like social. but I had access to the last 4. I had access to all of your addresses. I had access to your high school transcript. I had access to a few other things like within like the system. I looked at my own transcript. I looked at my friend's transcript. Technically, that's like a breach of privacy, but my best friend let me. So like technically, but at the same time, they don't know that my best friend let me, so it's whatever. But I looked at mine, and that's how I remember my GPA from graduation now because I looked at my own transcript.
That's funny.
Well, no, not transcript. Like it was yeah, like the high school transcript of like looking at like every little detail. Not just like the regular like schmegular transcript of like, oh, here you took these classes or whatever. No, like it was like a high school like like internal transfer kind of transcript. Like I was like, whoa, information I can't understand. So let's see. Another pet peeve I have is this one is like specifically because I worked on a campus and we did AV support, because we were all trained to troubleshoot them. We were trained to troubleshoot the wall boxes, the any of the panels that we had that had buttons on them to fucking do shit, and also like minorly on the actual projector itself. And we had to try to figure out all the information. Like the thing is, we had an entire Google Drive filled out with tons of photos of every single classroom on campus. It's a humongous campus. We have thousands of rooms. We only technically like covered about 3/4 of the classrooms. The other one, like the rest of them went to somebody else. But we have to now like take a look, like out of the 3 different kind of classrooms that we build, what kind of classroom is this one? What kind of projector is this? How can we troubleshoot this, that, this? And like my biggest pet peeve was that when a teacher calls in for IT support, like, hi, this is not working. Oh, I don't have time for this. Can you just come? Can you just send somebody over and just help us?
Hey, I'll get right on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, it's for some reason always in this fucking building that is on the other side of the fucking campus, and I have to fucking run because the teacher's like, you better hurry up, and I'm fucking running my ass over there, and I get there and they didn't turn the fucking projector on, or they just didn't have the right source on, or they didn't plug it in all the way.
What about the light switch? The powered light switch. I don't know if did you build and have the powered light switch, or like the on and off of the light switch?
What about it?
Like a lot of the video projectors, when they plug them in, the light switch is off because like it's a lot of times.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
That's what our
no.
When I was on that team, that's what we used to have. The problem was people would always plug it into the wrong outlet. If you look, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. See, and you're like, click, and suddenly there's light, and you're like.
No, we our specific projectors are like not like that. Newer school, not like that. They just turn on and everything is just in the walls, you know. But oh my god, there were so many times that I'm like, okay, they tell me to go to this room, BRB guys, I'm gonna go to fucking Duncan 103, and I run all the way over to Duncan 103. Go into Duncan 103 and they're like, oh my god, are you the IT? I'm like, hi, I'm the IT person that you just called by. I'm here to troubleshoot your stuff. They're like, oh, okay, just here, take it, you know, like do whatever. And I see that it's like half plugged in, and I just plug it all the way in. I go back to the wall box and I press turn on, and we just wait, and then it shows up. I'm like, they're like, oh my god, what did you do? I'm like, and then and as I have to pull like so much out of myself to just be like, oh, haha.
Yeah.
You just didn't.
You can't call them an idiot in front of their class.
Yeah, so I'm just like, it was just a small little thing. Not like, you didn't fucking plug it in, you dumb motherfucker. If you didn't yell at us to run over here, I could have said, are you sure you have everything plugged all the way in? Make sure you unplug and replug and try it again. Or people's laptops, specifically for VGA ports. VGA ports. Sometimes it's like a really, really tight fit, so they like barely put it in and they're afraid of breaking it, which makes sense. Appreciate that. You know, thanks for not breaking our shit. But like I literally go in and I just go, and it works. That's it. Like, it ain't that deep, bro. If it broke, we just fucking replace it. Like, that's it. Like, that's all we do. Or just like dumb bitches that just don't know how to plug in a fucking VGA cable. Like, it ain't that old of a cable. Like, yeah, it's old, but like it ain't that old. Like, I didn't even use
if it's not
VGA
an
that much.
HDMI cable, I mean, so you got to remember there are people out there that have not seen VGA cable.
True.
And it's like, for me, flip phones, right? My first phone was a flip phone. Yep, and that it has come back full circle, right? You say, check out my flip phone, but it's totally different. And people
so different.
Like they pick up these relics and they're like, "What is this?"
Oh my god, bro! People are fucking getting back into flip phones. Because like like they make ones not like this, but like the regular flip phones, but instead like it's like the Android OS on the actual top screen instead of like the old school shit. Oh my god! People are like, "Oh my god, flip phones are so cute." I'm like, bro.
I hate them. The 90s. I hate. Okay, even when flip phones were new, and people are like, "Is this your favorite phone?" No, not really. No.
I just like the flip phone because it's cute, cool, and fits in my hand, and like I'm just not basic. But that's the only reason. But if someone were to like offer me a fucking free Samsung S Galaxy 23 Ultra, I'm going to replace this phone immediately and get that phone because God, it's beautiful.
There's send new Samsung scores.
Oh my god, like so good. But yeah, I'd say it's just that like bitches just don't listen, and they just like because they get mad, because they're getting mad at a situation. And they're getting mad at us for not being able to magically fix it. It's like, you have to, you channel the IT help through us, through you. English bad, but like, like we give you instruction, you follow. That's it. Like, at my first IT job, I had to teach people on how to clear their browser cache. I had to teach them. And I'm on the phone, right? I'm on the phone and I'm doing it on my end. So I know exactly where to tell them. Okay, so when you open up your browser in the upper right-hand corner, there is going to be an X. Is that correct? Yes. All right, right under the X, there is going to be 3 dots. Press that. I don't see it. It's right there. It should be right under the X in the upper right-hand corner. Just you should be able. I found it. What do I click now? And then like I have to like walk them through everything, and then like and then sometimes those same people call back like a few months later. You recognize it because you have to like verify their information. Like I already taught you how to do this. Why are you asking me again?
They forgot.
And also, it's such an easily Googleable situation. How to clear cache from browser. Yeah. That's it. We're not superheroes, okay?
We are. People thank us like we're superheroes for the tiniest little things and berate us for like over these same little things, right?
Yes. Yes. It's like, oh my god, you could fix that? Yeah, I literally just, oh my god, bitches that don't know how to like unmirror their computer or like what the fuck is it? Extend their laptop. They're like, I don't see anything on the projector. Like I have the video pulled up, but it's not working. Like what? And I'm like, you just do this, and then you just click on mirror clone. Oh my god, it's showing! Oh my god. Like, bro. Working in IT makes you want to fucking die sometimes.
Yeah, we had I had this one job, and it was basically similar. We had this one young woman. She was 23, 24 years old.
Like my age.
Yeah, she was right about your age, and she had this like she'd pull on this like cutesy baby girl voice, and she was like our baby girl voice girl because this was her job, which was to soothe people, but with this baby girl voice. She was like the customer whisperer, and it was like it was the crazy like the customers would berate us, hate us. We were like the worst, vilest creatures. Didn't matter if you're male or female, didn't matter. But this baby girl voice, and she had this was like puppet master, right? And it is like this crazy, creepy thing. And you're like, I don't get it.
Whatever you want. If that's what you're into, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
I'm
fine. Yeah. I'm fine. I just talk with some people. Huh? Just talking. Oh, we're sorry. Oh, you're fine. Too loud? No, it's fine. Okay. It's fine. So yeah, and it's like the whole baby girl voice thing was for me. It was this really fun office like dynamic because like you would just like pause what you were doing and listen to this conversation, and you're like, it was like, oh my gosh, like how it's like Darwin is wrong, Darwin is so wrong. It is like, yeah.
Are you saying Darwin was wrong because he did not plan this evolution in life?
Yeah, like this evolution is going backwards. I mean, it's like there's just no way. Like,
hey,
the more technology.
Hey, no. If you think about it, if Darwin is wrong in the way of evolution, that means Freud is right.
Maybe.
Freud is right, bro. Freud is right. Freud
Which
is
would
right,
be even creepier.
Yeah.
If Freud's right, well, we're all screwed.
To the listeners, do you want to fuck your mom or do you want to fuck your dad? If so, then Freud is right.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, Freud is still kind of right. Like there are a lot of fucking like you know, like those like really sad true crime stories of like a dad raping their daughter and shit like that. It's like,
yep.
Why?
And it's a big thing on the internet. It's out there. There are a lot of people like that. Like,
why are you proving Freud right? We're not supposed to be proving him right, bro. But okay, let's see. What about some like really bad customer service stories of just like an experience that you've had with a customer?
I think my worst, if I had to pick one, like that sticks out of my brain is like, so like, oh my God, this actually happened to me. I was doing admin work for a text role playing forum like Dungeons and Dragons, and keep in mind these are nerd. Yeah, total nerd, right? And this is nerd culture, so you get a lot of people who are into nerd culture stuff. And but it's also text role playing, so you get different ages, you get to different vibes. And so and this is also the age of when video and audio was just coming out, like interactive, like what we're doing here. Before and it was just beginning. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, you were born, but you were like playing with something, and you're like, it's just one of those things where like, and we're running into this whole situation as an admin, and I'm dealing with everybody's problem, like database backups, technical code. It's like it's pretty much standard fare. But this one situation comes up where it's like, suddenly, out of all this mess, this young guy in Texas, 17 years old, is having an online romance with a lady in Canada. Yeah, right. And we say, well, we can't do that because
it's illegal. How old was the lady in Canada?
She was like 45. Yeah. So keep in mind, I have turned her down at this point. She wanted me to call her different names, and she was going to call me master. It was going to be like this sub relationship, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't necessarily need that right now. Politely turn this down.
Ain't my vibe. Sorry.
Yeah. And like it's also weird because like I'm on the admin, and I'm like, I don't need this. I didn't need this.
I just work.
And so I was like, I distanced this lady, and this event came up 3 months later, where we're like, okay, we're gonna have to either ban or suspend one of them. So both of them ended up getting banned and suspended from the forum because inappropriate behavior. And so like, goodbye. Everybody's a little upset. We lose some people, not a big deal, right? Turns out the young man from Texas started sending the operator of the website, bomb threats, like real life bomb threats. It was like stalking, harassing, and so we ended up calling.
It's a 40-year-old woman. Chill the fuck out. What is wrong
exactly
with this
right?
guy? What the fuck?
we ended up calling the Texas police and getting them involved and getting in an actual investigation.
Because did you have any of like his information from the back end?
Oh yeah, we had everything we needed.
Oh shit!
Then we gave it all. This kid got like I think a year in juvenile detention.
Oh dude, y'all bitches that are listening, see, we have your information.
Like, we did, and it's like because he's like he's gonna blow up her house. He used Google Maps, which was just coming out at the time. To say, okay, I'm gonna locate your house. I know what your backyard looks like. I'm gonna kill you because she had what she called a blurple truck. He's like, I'm gonna blow up her blurple truck, which is blue and purple.
Yeah.
So he was gonna blow up her blurple truck. And I was like, oh, and so poor truck. Oh my god, like this really happened to us. We had to deal with like this angry, angsty, horny teenager who threatened to kill us because we told him he couldn't have sex with 45 Canadian lady. Like what is this? Like and that was probably the biggest what the fuck of my life, I think, honestly. To this day, honestly.
That is like obviously like 10 times worse than any of my stories. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm trying to jerk my dick to this lady, to this MILF right now. Come on, Adderworks, let me through.
Yeah. We were like and all the staff were like, oh really, really we had people quit, like the mods quitting, like we're out, deuces. And I can't blame them. I mean,
yeah, they're scared, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, that's fucking hilariously scary. That's just so funny, bro. Especially because this lady was like, Adderworks, you trying to let me call you master? Yeah, no, fuck you. So I'm gonna go for this child instead.
Yeah, and it was true. It was like you ever watch a Predator? It looks like Chris. Yeah. It was that kind of vibe, right? And like what the fuck? And like this is like real. Like, okay.
Did anything happen to the lady? Because obviously she was pursuing.
No. She was in Canada, so at the time there's the child predator laws. There's I mean it's Wild West at the time, and she could pursue any young man she wanted.
Canada, I understand you're more progressive than we are, but damn, that's a little too progressive.
Yeah. Now I imagine there'd probably be some sort of
100%.
Back then it's like stop touching the children. What's wrong with you? It's like oh my gosh, people. Like, why do we have to tell you this? Why is this our job?
Fact. It's like we're just trying to role play in Dungeons and Dragons. Why are you touching each other?
Yeah, that's its own creepiness story. Like, because you'd have entire groups of people who would get together and like weird sex D&D RP type stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, back in the day, there was this what they call the Book of Erotic Fantasy. It was this huge, like crazy drop, and people were like, oh my god, you can cast sex spells, right? It's like this has never happened before. Like all those Boris Vallejo, all these fantasy artists didn't exist, right? But and also all these D&D geeks, like the Lollipop Chainsaw Crew. These are the same nerds who like, oh my god, this Laura Croft, right?
Oh yeah, let me see Laura Croft without her tank top.
Yeah, right. I mean, and this is that same crowd, and you're like, they get this book of erotic fantasy, and for like 2 years, we would have to tell people you can't have sex on our floor, the D&D, right? And it was like just this huge train wreck of emotionally distraught D&D geeks.
But it's canon.
Exactly. That actually came up, and you're like, oh no! It's like just like why is this happening in my form?
That's so funny.
Keep in mind, at this time, the volume of traffic on this website, we were getting over a million unique hits per month.
Pop off.
So that was like a lot, and so this wasn't just like a niche, corner of the internet. Yeah. At the time, it was a pretty big D&D community. So this was like everybody's looking at us like, what the fuck is happening in your forum? And you're like, Look, we're trying to get a handle
going
on. Yeah, it's one of those crazy things.
Damn, my story is not gonna be able to like. Mine is just people yelling at me. That's it. Like that's all. I don't really share my story anymore. Mine is not as funny as a weird teenager trying to fuck some bitches, bro. Like I'd say like a horror story of mine would be, there was this one customer, her name was Tina. I don't care if I name drop her because she's an old ass lady. She's not gonna be listening to this, and also there's a million Tinas in the fucking world. You don't know who the fuck this is. So this lady Tina, she's like an elderly Vietnamese woman, still going to university. So doing school late, that's fine. Props to you, congratulations. But the thing is, her English is very broken. Still, it's like very, very broken. Feel bad. She reminds me of my mom in a bad way. And like, she has been helped by 2 other people other than me. And the first person that like helped her was this like Indian coworker of mine, and like she just like yelled at him. And like, cause like his accent was a little bit thick. She couldn't understand him, especially because like she has broken English, and like her understanding and like comprehension of English is like very American based, and it needs to be American based before she can get used to other accents. So, like, it's understandable as to why that she was having difficulty and why she was getting frustrated to the point that she was going to yell. But because she yelled, the situation got escalated to a staff member, because again we were just all student assistants, and so it got escalated to the staff member. The staff member was able to help her out, and then like she was able to get the stuff that she needed checked out, and she was able to get everything explained to her to make use of it. And then she started coming back at least every week to get help with stuff, because she's a very old lady. She's like, I'd say like in her like late 40s to 50s. And so she just needed help with like a lot of stuff. And then it got to the point that she always came after her class, and after her class, it'll be when I already started working. And then all of my coworkers ganged up on me in a non-sexual way. And they told me, Tiana, you're gonna go help her. I went, why? Why me? What the fuck? So I went to go help her. And then she starts fucking like raising her voice at me. And the thing is, as a child of an immigrant of immigrant parents, and me being the firstborn and me being a female, I have experienced a lot of first generation Asian American trauma. And it does not help when a lady that is a stranger is yelling at me in the same way that my immigrant mother yells at me at home. So it's like, oh my God. It was kind of bad. Like, it wasn't like her like screaming at me. It was just still her like raising her voice, saying like, are you even listening? And like saying like the exact same things my mom would say to me when we were arguing. And I was like getting triggered. Like not like the way that, triggered, I was like getting triggered, like I'm gonna fucking cry right now, triggered. Like it was not good. And she was yelling at me, and I literally was like trying to help her, and I was just like, I just had to like not talk and just like try to just like focus, so I don't just kind of like start thinking about my trauma and start crying in front of the
customer. Yeah, the tunnel vision.
Yeah, I had to like tunnel vision so hard to try to help her, and like just focus on like working on the laptop. Kind of so I was just like, one moment, let me just like work on this, and I just tunnel vision to just be like, don't think about her, don't think of my mom, don't think about trauma, don't think about you being, like a disgrace to the family, don't think like don't be thinking about that shit, like gonna make you cry at work, like. But I did like kind of tear up because of just me like kind of like just like being like triggered in that way and like kind of freaking out, and I was able to get her help. And like, of course, like just like my mom, whenever she was talking to customer service, like literally like attitude changed once her problem was fixed, once she gets what she wants. Oh my gosh, she loves me now. Thank you. You were a lifesaver. I love you so much. Thank you. And I was just like, bro, you got me fucked up. Like, why is my mom here? Like, she doesn't go here. And then from that point on, because she didn't like blow up and it didn't need to be like escalated to like a staff member, every time Tina came in, every fucking week, they were like, Tiana,
yep.
go.
You're the person. tag you're at.
So every fucking week, I'd be helping her out because it would just be like me teaching her how to fucking use an SD card reader and having just to transfer it to the laptop. Like that's all I had to help her with. And I tried to teach her every time, and she every time could not remember, to the point where she literally was, "Can you write this down?" And I ran to get a notepad, and I neatly wrote every little minor detail. Literally, it's like, like, right click on file, click on, like, you know, like, click on whatever, and like in the in quotations, the exact word that she had to click, and all these things, and like, I like wrote down like hella steps on how to transfer it, on how to delete the files. I gave her like 3 sheets of paper with like 10 steps each of every single step that she wanted me to write down because she wanted me to teach her all these different things. And then like I'd say that was my horror story of just like being so triggered that I almost cry at work because of Asian trauma.
It's funny you mention that. It is funny because
wow, my trauma is funny to you.
It is 100% trauma.
Because but it's funny to you. Damn.
Yes, it is. Because when I was working hazmat, we had this thing where we get ships from the Philippines and Taiwan, right, in that South Pacific Sea area.
Yeah.
And the Taiwanese versus the Filipino culture gap, let's call it that. They're not necessarily as fond of each other as they could be.
They're both island Asians, bro. Come on.
Yeah, but we had a Filipino crew come in, and we had a Taiwanese lady. She was actually American born, first generation Navy. Her secondary job is translation and stuff like that, working with Filipino and Taiwanese crews. And so we'd always call her. And she would tell us "fuck you" to our face every time we did, because this was like the worst job she's ever had.
Oh,
because like what you're talking about, imagine a Filipino guy or a Taiwanese guy with old school mentality on a ship. yes, and she has full authority over his ship. A perfect stranger, yes. So her job is to tell him what the dockmaster is telling him to do. So the dockmaster relays it to her. She relays it to the captain. So she is de facto in charge of that moment. And her job was, she just like you, like all of her traumas growing up. She was like, "This is your job today. Deal with it or her." And this would happen like 6 times a year. And
too many times. 1 is enough.
Yeah, so
one is enough to relive your trauma, bro.
So I'm kind of seeing this. I've seen it in action. You're like, even like in Virginia, one of the first girls I dated, her sister was a matriarch of the family. And he had to live up to the older sister standards. And you talk about trauma. That was like some traumatic shit, right?
Yeah.
That was like 6 months of just like trying to be competitive with the older sister, and I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, like
that's some emotional baggage I'm just not ready for. It's just not.
Like literally, bro, like I do not come to work so I can still like be yelled at by my mom. The whole point of me getting a job in college is so I don't have to go home as early after class, so I can avoid my family. Why is my family here at work, please? Like, this is not what I wanted. Like, I'm not trying to be yelled at work and then go home and then also be yelled at by the very similar tiger mom, fucking broken English, no degree in school, self-work, trade work up to get money. Like, I cannot deal with that, bro. Like, that is way too much for me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, like literally after that, I walked up to my coworker Danny. I was like, "Danny, bro, like she's like just like my mom." Like, bro, I almost fucking cried. He's like, "Bro, you're fine. Shut the fuck up." I'm like, "Fuck you. What the fuck?" Like, what the
you
fuck,
weren't there. You don't understand.
No, he's a fucking Vietnamese man. Like, he understands where I'm coming from. He's just saying "fuck you" to me. Danny's like my brother. He literally treats me like a sister. Like he literally, we fucking throw hands all the time, verbally. Like,
as a guy, sometimes you just don't care.
Yeah,
as a guy, you're like, whatever.
Yeah, just the fuck up. Just fucking man up, bitch. The fuck ticket. Like, who cares? Yeah, no, but yeah, no, he was like, bro, just fucking, it's fine, bro. Like, you're fine. Just don't cry. You ever think of that? Just don't cry. He's jokingly toxic to me. I know that all the toxic shit he says to me is just always a meme. Because he just fucking sent me some dumb shit like, you're depressed? Just don't be. Dumbass fucking shit like that, bro. Yeah, that's my horror story. It's not sex related, but you know, it hit deep. It hit deep, and I didn't expect it to hit deep. But yeah, most of my horror stories from work are all coworker horror stories, which I already covered in a previous episode. But like, goddamn, I was not ready to have to. Because the thing is, that was like my last semester working there.
You're like ready to go.
It's my last semester. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm gonna graduate.
Your mindset's already 180 of where it is. Yeah.
But yeah. So, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Let's see. Customer service wise, I will say this: the new customer service model, like what I'm doing IT right now. For me to actually be customer service, it's like almost surreal in the sense that people have to go through like 20 layers just to talk to a real person, and then you have to go through another 2 weeks or so of talking to people
to get a response that actually fixes things and stuff. Yeah.
And so it's even further distant, and people by the time they get to me are like the worst, hostile, angry, sarcastic. Like,
I have been talking to people for 3 weeks to get this problem fixed, and it's still not fixed. Like, can you help me? like, I'll try, bro. The fun.
I have taken that, and what I've done is, this chat, Google GPT chat AI thing, Bing
for
the chat GPT, this AI stuff. I have taken all of that experience, everything I've learned over these decades in IT, and I've turned it on the AI. And so I have been trolling this chat GPT.
And, you're a fucking nerd, bro. What the fuck? You're wasting your fucking precious time to fuck around with it when an AI says, I know more than you. No shit.
The idea is to get... my goal is to like break the chat, right? And I actually got banned from it the other day. Because I had asked it some certain questions, right? And I was talking, I talked it into giving me its session cookie ID. And so
you IT the fuck.
So and they're like, what the fuck? Why would it tell you this, right? Because I got it to scrape its own cookie and give me the ID.
That's fucking hilarious.
And actually banned me from the Bing chat thing. So, So I was like, it's like, look, I didn't hack you. I just asked your Google, your little chat box some questions in Bing, and I just asked that. Just Google bot was smarter. The Google bot did not give me any of that information, but Bing was like,
Microsoft got to step up. Microsoft got to step up.
And I was like, this AI shit, like, it's a whole new era of IT. Like, people are talking to the AIs in a way I'm glad, but at the same time, for like the older people, it's like it's a way to troll and kind of be the IT guy. I know.
Yeah,
I know it's a nerd moment, but
fucking Lear, fucking. I want to see if I can break this machine.
It is exactly that moment. You're like, I'm going to break this, and yeah. Because I mean, once you know the database, the calls, and you're like, and you're used to dealing with people, and they got this machine who's pretending to be a person.
Yeah.
So
true.
I think your generation, you're gonna have the after effects of like when all the boomers and all the other people are done with fucking with the AIs and teaching them to be dicks, right? Your generation is going to have to be the one to deal with these dick AIs. Like these AI, like we're going to totally be turn these guys into jaded Skynet machines, and it's going to be all our fault. We're going to give them to you as our generational gift.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it, Adderworks. Thank you so much for doing that for us. You love us so much. Thank you. It'll be dude. Honestly, if you think about it, that's fine. If you think about it, that's fine. Because that means that Melt would be more popular.
Oh, the AI stuff. You know,
now we have to have Melt listen in on this podcast to see why we brought him up. It's all in the master plan. But for everyone listening, if you guys have reached to the end of this podcast, please go to twitch.tv/meltmanofgp and type in his chat. Melt is an AI and leave. That's it. That's all. That's all. That's it. That's all we need you to do.
Yep.
Just call him an AI. That's it. Or call him a furry.
Confirmed furry.
Confirmed furry. Just go in his chat, call him a furry or call him an AI, and you honestly did the best. Did everything because Melt asks for it. Okay, he doesn't, but he asks for it. You know.
Okay, just for the record, Melt he knew all the technical furry stuff that only a furry would know.
Exactly.
And that was like, Melt, you've confirmed it, right? And he's like, what? He's like, yes, Melt. If you know all of these things, you are a furry. I'm just saying.
It's like that one joke that somebody said about how like a pedophile actually is only like up to a certain age, and then there's like a different name for like a different age group, and and you knowing this specific name and this specific age group kind of sounds suspicious because it kind of makes it sound like you're that kind of person.
Exactly.
He's like, I swear I'm not. This fucking funny ass comedian. I don't remember what it is, but yeah, Melt's a furry confirmed. Melt also is furry confirmed. But I think this is a good time to wrap up the podcast. We went over some interesting stories, especially Adderworks. I did not expect that. Thanks for that. I appreciate it's a vibe. Not a vibe that a kid went to juvie, but like, hey, that was on you, my guy. You know, like you threaten bitches, you gonna get it. You know, the fuck. But if you guys were to take anything away from this podcast episode, please treat your customer service / any IT customer service personnel or just IT overall with love and with niceness, because bitch, if you think about it, you came to us for help. You know that sign in stores that says we have the right to refuse service to anyone? We have the right to refuse service to you, bitch. You know, so just like, if you want our help, just be nice. Like, you yelling isn't gonna make us go faster. It's not like you putting coal in a train. Like, it ain't gonna go chugga chugga choo faster. It's just gonna throw the coal back at you, and it's gonna be fiery hot, and then you're still gonna have a broken laptop. You know, like. So, please write detailed emails, write detailed tickets. Be nice to us. Don't yell at us because you are asking us for help. You are the loser in the situation, okay? So you should not make yourself an even bigger loser by being banned from even just getting help from us in the first place. Like,
don't be banned.
And don't talk to weird ladies in Canada.
Don't do that.
If you're underage, just wait. Just wait a little bit, please. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was actually my first time seeing Adderworks' face. Well, technically, you sent a picture of yourself but technically this was the first time I ever like actually talked to Adderworks voice to voice, face to face. Crazy. Even though I've known him for like 5 years. Crazy.
Well, I've been very transitory, so this is me getting stable and being able to be on voice.
True. Adderworks has been moving around. Adderworks has been living life and try to not be sick and try not to die and, you know, all of the above. And I'm glad he's not dead, because then I still have an uncle, you know, fire. And also, if the thing about internet friends, okay, one quick tangent before I end this. One thing I hate about internet friends is if they die, you don't know if they're dead.
Yes.
You know, if you were to die, it'll just be like, hey, Mel, where's Adderworks? I don't know. Fuck. That's it.
You just stop logging on.
Shit. We'll never know. But yeah, I had a lot of fun this episode. I had a lot of fun talking to Adderworks. He streams once in a while on his channel, and it is at twitch.tv/Adderworks, ADDERWORKS. He streams Minecraft and some other random ass games that are like for old people like him. But he's also a console streamer. What a loser. But if you want to support him, definitely, you know, go check out his channel. You don't stream that often, right?
No, I mean, I'll probably be doing more 7 Days to Die here shortly. But.
Yeah. If you want to see him fuck around in a zombie world, or see him neglect some dino pets.
Yes, they're probably starving too right now.
Definitely check him out. Of course, check out me on all of my socials at Teaonalamb. But I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever time it is for you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. I do apologize for slacking on podcast episodes. I've been exhausted switching work schedules to morning. I cannot find a good sleep to work balance right now. But I'm gonna be churning out hella episodes. I'm gonna force bitches to be on the episodes. And I'm gonna get through. I'm gonna get it done. But yes, thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. Say bye, Adderworks.
Bye.